anything? It's coming little, increase little. That's so we are on the Shwetashwatara Upanishad and the chapter number 4, and there are beautiful verses we read talking about that ultimate truth who is pervaded everywhere in everything. So we went through, today we'll read verse number 19. But the last verse we read, when one is gone beyond ignorance, jada atama. Atama means when there is no darkness. It reaches that place where there is no darkness. No diva, there is no day, no night, no naratri. That is the position where no sat. You cannot say there is something. No asat, there is nothing which can be said not there. All distinctions of duality merges there, and you cannot express it in any human language. So that is the state. Then what is that? It is all void. Normally the idea comes, the Buddhistic idea that the Buddhistic philosophy talks about the Shunyavad. Not this night, no day. So what is that? There is no darkness, no light. We cannot conceive of anything in our relative plane. Light means darkness. Happiness means misery. There is duality is always existing everywhere. But here it is said, in that state, when your ignorance, individual ignorance is washed away, what happens then? That atama, in that state of absence of tamas or ignorance, nadiva, jada atama, tan nadiva naratrihi, na sat na cha sat. There is no sat existence. You cannot say there is something. There cannot say that there is nothing. There is non-existence. So existence, non-existence is duality. Who will say? Main thing, who will say? To say something, there should be some person or identity who says I. And I will come due to ignorance. But if that ignorance is not there, then who will say who? I is also not there. So there is no one to describe that, no one to experience that. That is a state beyond all. So beyond naratri, nor diva, nor sat, not being, nor nachasat, non-being, then what remains? Shiva eva kevala. Only what remains? Shiva means auspiciousness, absolute auspiciousness. This whole world is inauspicious because it is always a mixture of the good, bad, and this and that. This whole world is only out of ignorance it comes. There is only that auspicious one. And tadaksharam tatsavitur varenyam, that is the state which is akshar. Akshar means imperishable, and that is savitu, varenyam, that is the adorable creator. Tasmat Purani Pragga Prasita. From that reality, all this Purani, old, the eternal message of wisdom, it spreads and proceeds from that. So this is the last verse we read. This cannot be described much. We cannot talk about this reality. It is a question of perception that duality creates this good and bad and all, but duality being not there, ignorance being not there, this duality cannot exist. Whenever that one I comes, then you come. If there is no I, where is you? If there is no body, where is the perception of body? So, mind, body, etc., there is nothing. Therefore, that is a state. It is beautiful. It is a question of meditation. It is existence, we know this exists. There, this existence is not there. Or not as a table, not as a chair, not as a person, not as sun, moon, stars, but there exists something which cannot be defined. And that is called Shiva Eva. Say, contradictory word. Not this, not that, uh, not this, not that. But what is there? That cannot be described. Therefore, there is only one. Here is the distinction between this void theory, Shunnava. Then normally if you say not this, not this, not this, then ultimately is what? Shunno, void. But it is not void. Shiva eva kevala. What remains kevala means only that one remains, which is Shiva, auspiciousness, which is all purity, all grace and compassion. And that aksharam, that is the one reality which is imperishable, that does not perish. Everything perishes in this world of duality. That is a state. So, this indicating the idea that that is a place where there is no loss of anything. Loss, gain in the duality, no. You have $1 million, your money will be lessened. You have $100, you spend something, it will be lessened by or as much as you spend. But this is inexhaustible source of reality. So nothing can be added to it, nothing can be subtracted. Therefore, from that reality came all this diverse manifestation. From him has proceeded also the ancient wisdom. So from wisdom to anything created, all has come out of it. That means here we have read this, there is nothing of all this, but there is only auspicious one. Meaning the statement there is neither being nor non-being when ignorance is removed. May leave on one the impression that the ultimate reality is Shunya, as I was talking about. If you say there is neither existence nor non-existence, if you say there is no night, no day, there is no, so that what is that? Nothing, 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 nothing. But it's Shunya or void as philosophers hold to it. It is toward word of this misconception. Upanishad says the ultimate truth is there is something which cannot be expressed in any language, any word. So that's why it is that the Shiva Eva Kevala, this word, the Upanishad is mentioning this, using this word. There remains what? Kevala, only what? Shiva Eva. Not Lord Shiva, the dancing god, but Shiva here means all auspiciousness, ever pure, ever stainless. That means the ultimate reality realized by the removal of ignorance is described as Shiva or the auspicious one. This characterization, even auspicious one, if you say, you're also giving some quality. You cannot say anything, that is the major thing, but it is saying there remains what is auspicious, means attaining to that one become negative, free from all dross of ignorance. It is the most auspicious, pure state of being. This characterization of the Supreme suggests the idea that while he is beyond all the relativities of life, our notion of light and darkness, knowledge and ignorance, being and non-being, he is the transcendental, he is in a transcendental state, the summation of all the highest values we know of life. That means he remains in that consciousness, which is beyond all senses, beyond all of our perceptions. is in a transcendental sense the summation of all high values we know of in life. He is not something less, but more than it. In other words, the absolute negates all relativity. So he is spoken of as imperishable and worthy of being adored even by the Creator, who is the highest being conceivable from our relative point of view. So all this creation comes from that reality because there is nothing but that reality. Huh? Tell me something. What do you think about this truth? Can you conceive of anything? What is no light, no light, no darkness? Can you imagine anything as such? Where light is not there, there is darkness. Can this contradiction go together? Come out or put some questions, otherwise it is dull. My voice is low. Put question, put question. Don't accept everything.
It feels like they shouldn't be able to.
Eh?
It feels like they shouldn't be able to go together, but they feel like they make a whole in some way.
What did you say?
But they shouldn't. It feels like they shouldn't be able.
Loud.
It feels like they shouldn't be able to go together, but they're like two parts of a whole.
Yeah.
Two parts. In Brahman there is no part. Part is in ignorance, no? If you part it, this and that means you can do it with a limited something. But Brahman is not limited. That's why part means,
I was going to say it's us. It's who we are inside. If we go past limitation, then light and darkness. You're past that. You're in.
Yeah, how that will go? So long mind is there, you cannot do that.
You go past the mind.
Aye. How to pass the mind?
There's no how. You just do it. We are that. We can't do anything about it.
If the ultimate reality is beyond duality,
Okay.
then doesn't it also encompass duality?
Yeah, then the duality is not there in that absolute experience. That's why the fundamental point, when the ignorance goes away.
But it pervades duality.
Hmm?
But it pervades duality just like water and
Yeah, when you come down, you don't see the duality. You can see the duality, but you see the permeated one reality, the substance of it. But that, when you go to that state, they are describing, this is rishis are experiencing, they are telling us their experience. In that state, there's no darkness, no light. Like a wonderful idea. Normally you see it is darkness, and when darkness goes away, we know there is light. But in that state, there is not neither this darkness idea, there is no light idea. Idea comes where? Mind. Is it not? All ideas, good, bad, existence, non-existence, light, darkness, is in the mind. One people say, oh, he's black, he has fallen down, blackout, or he has fell down. Ignorant, he got lost his senses, awareness. What happens? For him, duality vanishes in a moment. For that, because mind is totally gone from the outside, this duality disappears. So it is in the mind. So long the mind is impure, impure means it sees this world of duality, that long these opposites remain. But as the mind can be trained to go beyond, or mind becomes mindless, then there is nothing to lose.
So if a great saint or a person goes into like samadhi and then they come back down, what thinking faculty helps them recall that state if the mind is completely?
They are again entering into the mind.
And they remember it.
When you go to samadhi, that time what happens? Your mind is gone.
But then wouldn't it be a blank?
That's right.
Wouldn't it be like a blank?
Oh,
When you go back down?
from our perspective, it is blank. But they are saying, no, it is not blank, it is full. That's the beauty. There, what you are saying from our perspective is Shunna. That is Shunyavad, Buddhistic idea that everything of this negation, where it ends in voidness. If you say this is not there, this is not there, this is not there, then it is all should be void. And actually, a place comes when this void of what? Void of this duality, this perception of happiness and suffering, this perception of health and good health, bad health, this perception of sun, dark night, day night, it is clouded, it is sunny. All this conception, what is going on, so long mind is functioning.
But wouldn't the recollection be void?
Recollection, that time no recollection. Recollection remains in our when ignorance remains. Every day recollection remains when you go to deep sleep. Is it not? But Brahmogyanis, they penetrate that veil. Understand, every day we have our recollection. Yeah, today what is happening, tomorrow I will start from there. No? Yesterday what has happened, you know. And you can relate to that today. It is not gone anywhere. But after Brahmogyana, this goes away. But when again it enters into the realm of the mind, a trace of those feelings remain. For us it is so real, but for them trace. Like they give the example. Example is that the snake and burned snake. The snake is burned. You look like the snake, but it's all ashes. Huh?
The rope is burned.
No, suppose it is a snake. Taking for snake is snake, but snake is burned snake, so the appearance of the snake remains. But you pop up like that, it runs away. So this name and form, after Brahmajnana, what happens? They see the shape, but they don't see it is a living snake. But for us, it is a living snake. For them, it is burnt. By the ignorance, burn means your conception of the world, reality, is, for them it is nothing. That's why they say it is dreamlike. That's why Janaka said, Janaka said, Mithilayang pradagdayang name dajjati kinchana. The palace of Mithila, or the entire city of goes away, then what is that to me? When nothing is lost from that eternal perspective. So to understand this point is very deep, because otherwise here comes our philosophy. That's why normally philosophies are not viewing the truth in different angle. So here Vedanta is taking us to such a flight that you see this duality, there is a point when all this duality will vanish, evaporate. And what will remain? Shunna then? That's not spontaneous response. Well, not Shunna. Shunna of what? Shunna of name and form. Name and form collapse. But there remains a perception, conscious perception. That's why with that perception they come back. They said, oh, Ramakrishna gave the example. The few friends were passing by a wall, and on the other side there is a huge laughter and fun and music is coming out. So these passengers who are going, they are curious, and they asked one of the friends, like a pyramid, to climb on one and see what is beyond the other side of the wall, high wall of ignorance. So when he saw, seeing so much joy, he lost his awareness to tell the people on this side, see, fell down on the other side of, and they plunged into joy and joy. And now, second friend, he took little effort to see that joy and turn the face this side. Oh, here is a great joy going on. No? So some people can come back to report what joy was there. When they come back into the duality again. Suppose this is the non-dual area beyond this table. And here is the threshold. It is called Ramakrishna used to live in this threshold. That's why he could just turn on that side, going to samadhi. His body is motionless, breath stops, dead body like a dead body find. This is just looking at that side. And when he comes out this way, so I will drink some water, I will have some this and little desire, so that he comes, pulls the mind down into the duality level. So, and then he says this all pervaded one consciousness.
In that analogy, what goes on the other side of the wall with the friends? It's not their minds that go over. What is it that goes
We are
over?
saying that with that person dissolves. That's why the first person could not say anything, he plunged into it. That means he's lost. He
So
didn't saw.
what was left intact by the second person?
Second person has compassion. He's a higher soul. He, out of compassion, wants to tell us so that we get to that joy.
So compassion isn't an attribute of the mind.
The other person who plunged, compassion, that idea is also gone. Whose compassion? Who will do compassion to whom? I am only one. So they have no, again, duality. This compassion means you are not compassionate to somebody and compassionate to this idea gone. Who is what? There is nothing but joy. And they plunge into that joy and lose their ego. Bas, gone. But they stay there all the time? No. After 21 days, if they continue to stay there, the body will not come back. But if it within normal holy people we call, they get a touch and stay for maybe some time and they come back. That's why they call Brahmavit, knower of Brahman. Then somebody is called Brahmavit, Bora, he's higher. He stayed there for a longer period and longer and deeper. So that is the distinction between a person of wisdom and person of ignorance. Got it something, Naki? What? No question.
It's constantly beyond the wall.
How can we go?
Complete joy, but it's a joy of potentiality, constant.
Oh, so that you have to say, not this, not this. Yeah, this duality, wherever duality, it is not that. And that how can you go duality? We have to say this I see this duality. I am separate than you, you are separate than her, she is separate than him. So all are separation. Jo bahunam, eko bahunam, jo vidadhati kaman. He, one who fulfills the desires of bahunam. So many people, so many animals, so many creatures. He supplies all the energy of their food, joy and suffering, pleasure and pain, all this duality. So, that is the ancient wisdom. Ancient wisdom means, the ancient wisdom is Vedas. Vedas are the source of all knowledge. So, it has come down from the Vedas, the wisdom has come down like that. Now, the same idea in the verse number 11, which I starting today. It says, Nainam urdham natirjancha, Nainam urdham natirjancha. Bolo, Nainam urdham natirjancha. Nainam urdham natirjancha. Namadhe purijagravat. Namadhe purijagravat. Jagravat. Purijagravat. Not abar nainam urdham natirjancha namadhe purijagravat natasya pratima asti natasya pratima asti natasya pratima jasya nama mahadjasa. So naina murdham, there is no one can be above. Urdhva means above. There is nothing above. No tirjancha. Tirjancha is nothing across. No madhe. There is nothing in the middle. Enam. That reality. No parijagravat. No one can grasp that truth. There is no one in the creation ever able to grasp that truth. Grasping means what? Grasping through your hand, I grasp a book. Through your mind, you can grasp something. Through your eyes, you can grasp something. You see, I saw the beautiful sky, grasping through the eyes, with hand, with your senses. But no one can grasp that eternal reality. Because your mind, you're trying to grasp to the mind. Mind is too limited to grasp that, no? You may get a bigger vision of the space or horizon. When I was coming today, every time I observe this, when you are in a higher altitude, 40,000 feet or something, the plane, and you see, it's a bigger horizon only, that much. But you go out here, you can see a small horizon around the Hollywood and this circle, no? But you cannot catch this space. What the question of infinite space? So, no purijagravat, no one can grasp that. Natasya pratima asti, that means there is no pratima means equal. There is nothing equal to Brahman. Natasya pratima asti. Asti jasya nama, his name is what? Is the Mahat Jasa. Mahat means great glory. Great glory is his name. That means you cannot say anything, only you are astounded to see the vastness, the infinitude, and the dimension of all pervadedness. So no one can grasp him. This shows that he is not specially limited. The same idea. Limited thing you can grasp, but he is unlimited. That is the idea. So the Upanishad talking about the same thing, unless we meditate and unless we do sadhana, these will be just reading. It is no read does not resonate here in that. But you do something, then you will find. You read one line, it will thrill your heart. So that's the point. To be purification of the mind is necessary. Mind can grasp bigger identity. So he says, no one can grasp him, meaning this shows that there is no speciality. He is not specially limited. A non-equal, non is equal, means the word pratima here translated as equal. It does not refer to any image. Pratima normally means an image. Durga Pratima, the mother. Kali Pratima, the mother Kali's image. We call, in Sanskrit, we call Pratima. The Ma Kali's image. It is not image in that sense. Here, image, no, it is there is no parallel to it. And so, word Pratima does not refer to any image. Some people may, as some people may interpret it.
No, but he's saying clearly, Natasya Pratima Asti. He does not have any image.
Pratima. No, not image in one sense. Some people do may explain that way. But there is another explanation also. There is no parallel to him. He has no image. True, that's one simplistic way. But there is a deeper way that there is no parallel to him. You can compare, no? this is compared with this. In our day-to-day life, if we want to say, hey, could you describe that person? How? Oh, you don't see, his face is like that of John. His features are like this. It is like parallel, but there is no parallel of Brahman. So, there, as in interpreted by some who are not in favor of image worship, according to them, the passage means there is no image of him. The true meaning of it is, however, is that he has no equal. Shankaracharya did that meaning.
No, yeah, but the half distance says that Natashya doesn't, it means like that. Pratima means image and no image.
Yeah, correct. It is 21.
Verse 19.
So, verse number 19, it says, Shankaracharya says, nobody can grasp him from above. Say, there is something, you stand above and can check. You cannot see. No one can grasp him from above, nor across. Okay, let me see from here across how far, no? Or that's the way we see things, limited things. Namadya Purijagravat, it cannot grasp. There is no middle. There is no likeness of him whose name is great fame. Only it can be said, great G capital, fame F capital. His fame is everywhere, the grand fame of that reality. So nobody, Purijagravat, can grasp. Enam means this one capital who is under discussion. So our subject is Brahman. That one, there is no body who can grasp him. Shankara says, above in the directions that are upward, because he is the nature of unlimited. He has no parts and no limbs, no limbs. No asti pratima, there is no likeness. Likeness means there is no comparable object which is available in the world. Tasya, of him, of that God himself, G capital, H capital, because he is one of the nature. He is why there is no parallel, because he is of the nature of experience. Whatever you experience, because of that consciousness you experience. There is a point. Who can know the knower? You know because the eyes see. Eyes see because your brain has some stimulation. Brain stimulation, behind that is the mind. Behind the mind there is buddhi. Behind the buddhi is there someone, I, ego. And behind that ego is the cosmic consciousness. It is like a computer. It has all these parts as I described. There is a camera, eyes. There's that message, what it sees, it transmits into some other, and it goes to all the intricacies. But if the electricity is gone or the battery is not there, it will not work. So here is the point that there is behind that every image that reality persists, but he is of the unlimited nature and he has no parts. Then there is no any other thing parallel to him or like him. Now, Pratima, there is no likeness thus of him, of the God himself, because he is of the nature of experience. That consciousness, only he is the nature is awareness. Awareness is we call awareness. We are aware of the table, aware of the phone, aware of the book, aware of the clock. But what light gives that awareness? You cannot know that light, which is giving the light to all. That's why he called he shining, everything shines, because he is the reality. He is not small, it's all capital H. Cosmic reality. Because that reality is there, that's why everything is shining. Because there is no other kind. Just so, of which God, the name Nama is Mahat Jasa, great fame, fame that is not limited by direction, etc., and is full everywhere. Now, let me see what Swami Lokeshwarananda Maharaj says. Hmm. Yeah. We have read that. Now, next verse is, we have read that part, so I need not to read again. No one has seen above. I said, we have read that part. Now it is not, then what shall we do with such a thing? If it is not to be grasped by anything, mind cannot perceive, and your senses cannot get it, there is no parallel to it. How shall we think about it? What shall we do then with this type of truth? Then he says, 20th verse. Na sandrishe tishtati rupavasya, na sandrishe tishtati rupamasya, na chakshusha pashyati kaschin enam hridha hridistham manasha yayenam evam viduhu amritaste bhavanti. So na sandrishe tishtati rupamasya na chakshusha pashyati kaschanainam hridha hridistham manasha yayenam evam viduhu amritaste bhavanti. The same idea, now again elaborating it. No chakshusha, no sandrishe, osya rupam. This is form of that reality, absolute reality. No sandrishe, it cannot be visible, made visible by the eyes. It is not within the range of our visible eyes. So no sandrishe. Sandrishe means in the field of vision, you cannot bring it within the limit of vision. How much our eyes can see, it is very limited. So it says, no sandrishe rupam, its form, its nature cannot be seen like that. No tishtati, it does not stand. Enam chakshusha, with the eyes it cannot be seen. Kashana, no one can see through the eyes. Na pashyati, it does not see. Ya ije enam, but who can see? Yeah, there is the question. Leela was telling that how to get it there, how to get this real experience of. If it is such a thing, beyond all duality, beyond all opposites, and its eyes cannot see, ears cannot hear, then what shall we do with that thing? How can we reach that point? This is called the ya enam, those people who enam means this Lord God, the absolute consciousness. Hridha manasha. Hridha means by your mind, in the heart. That's why meditation in the heart. And how do you do? Your mind. Every day we are practicing meditation. Meaning what? Your mind is the tool. You're thinking of something in the heart. So it says, Hridha, Hridistham. And he's staying in this here, thinking that he is here as consciousness, and my manasa, by my mind, I am thinking of him. And by this continuous practice, the Hridha manasa means by the heart, by the mind, through the faculty of intuition. Esham Hridistham. Thus, is Esham, this reality, it is staying as if in the heart. Biduhu. They meditate, and then they biduhu means they know, they acknowledge, they understand, they realize. And those who know this way, te amritaha bhavanti. They, those people, become amrita, becomes immortal. So one becomes immortal by simple formula in the heart with the help of mind, thinking of him again and again, that conscious entity, this realization will come. His form does not stand within the range of senses. Nasandishe tishtati rupamasa. No one perceives him with the eye, nachakshusha, not by the eyes. Pashyati kaschadainam. But those who know him through the faculty of intuition, by buddhi, I was thinking of by the mind. Yeah, mind means ordinary mind. Our mind cannot grasp it. But intuitive mind. Here, intuitive mind means what? Not imaginative mind, but pure mind. Here, intuitive mind will be pure mind. In practicing spiritual discipline every time, it has become purified. With that mind, when they think of the light within, of the consciousness within the heart, no, then they thus, and intuition, how they do, as the seated in their heart, as if it is here, they think first it will be an imagination, but repeated thinking of that, when mind becomes purified, with a pure mind, when they think about that, they only can know, and by that knowing, Viduhu amritaste bhavanti. Te bhavanti, when te becomes amrita, immortal. So intuition has been given a note. Intuition means this is clearly a reference to the way of realizing Atman, which cannot be seen by the ordinary sensuous perception, as mentioned in the previous line. It is again and again they are repeating, you cannot see by these eyes. You have to have some, that's why intuitive eye, that's called the third eye. Normally, that's why people meditate here. Those who do meditation in the forehead, because thinking that eye will open up. But don't do that. And that's a very serious place, and that meditation should be done with the heart. That's why they're bringing out the position and teaching us, in the heart you have to do that meditation. So he says, it cannot be seen in the ordinary sensuous perception, as has been mentioned in the previous line. The supersensuous and super-rational way of knowing, that is called intuition. Here, intuition means, we say, oh, he's very intuitive. No? Seeing something, he foresees much deeper. So it comes for your experience and spiritual practice. You can see penetrating something which others cannot see. Our normal vision, we see the outside. Our vision goes there. We do not see what is in the mind. Ramakrishna said that he could see, like in a glass case. You keep something in behind the glass case, some cups and saucers or some deities or idols, no? You can see through. Ramakrishna could see that. So that because of the purity has come in the mind, and purity clears that vision, penetrating the external physical frame. And the Sri Ramakrishna like person, they can penetrate deep into it and just go into the direct touch. And that is called the realization. So he says that this super sensuous and super rational, that means you want to understand anything, fine thing, by rational analysis. We call it discriminative knowledge. But it is not ordinary discriminative, supernatural description. Way of knowing is what is called intuition. Is this faculty something entirely different from the mental faculties of man? The Upanishad does not seem to say so. For what we have interpreted by intuition is in the original representation of the two words Hrida by the heart and Manasa by the mind. For detailed comments on these words, the reader may refer to Mantra 17 of this chapter. We have already done that. This combination of three words implies that intuition is only the heightened power of cognition. Intuition is the highest power of cognition. We cognize through the senses, we cognize through our ears. Hearing something, very sharp person can understand the deeper meaning. Looking at something, sharp eyes can see many things which we cannot see. Similarly, this intuition is a heightened power of cognition. And how it is born? Born of the refinement and concentration of the faculties of mind. By the refinement, mind should be refined. And the faculty of the mind should be purer. That's why feeling, that means your feelings should be improvised, your thoughts should be improvised, and your will. That's the three things: feeling, thought, and will. These have to be refined. And those who are not sensitive to the sufferings of others, not sensitive to the joys of others or troubles of others, that refined mind does not grow. He cannot go further beyond, which is the support of these feelings, emotions. In other words, in the experience of the Atman is involved not any one of these faculties alone, but all of them purified by ethical life and unified by the powers of concentration in the form of cognition that gives unerring and unshakable certainty. Will give you the idea God is there. You feel so strongly that you're in no doubt, no confusion. No one can create that doubt in you. So that means how to attain? We meditate on God, or we are doing God. But Vedanta will say not this, that consciousness. And focusing on that consciousness by the mind again and again, mind gets purified. And when it gets purified, then only this experience can happen. Ajato, the 21st verse. Ajato iva, ajato iti, ajato iti, ajato iti, evam kaschit, viruhu, prapadyate, Rudro jatte, dakshinang mukham, te namang, pahi nityam. We repeat this second line. We say, asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mritturma amritangamaya. Last line I say, Rudro jatte dakshinang mukham te namang pahi nityam. This is the second line, is the same what we say. It is from this Shwetashwatara Upanishad, verse number 21. So ajato iti, same. Ajato iti. Oh, no one's voice is there. My voice is down. So many people shout. Ajato iti. Evam kaschit. Viruhu prapadyate. Rudro jatte. Dakshinang mukham. Tenamang.
Tenaman
pahi nityam.
Pahi Nityam.
So Kaschit, someone, Piru, who is afraid, Ajato eva evam, as the unborn, Prapaddhati approaches. That means some being afraid approach the divine, thinking that thou art unborn. He's saying, O Rudra, O God, personalized appeal. Now the student is appealing like in a devotional prayer we say, Oh Lord, please give me this, give me that. He here is this student is praying to that reality. O Rudra, some being afraid, some say, Ajato Evo, that you are unborn, you are unborn. Therefore, approach, thinking, I am approaching you, O real unborn, make me unborn. So I shall be birthless. O Rudra, so guide me. O Rudra, Jatte Dakshinam Mukham, that is his benevolent side of your reality face. Te namang pahi, protect me from that side. Meaning, some say it refers to the mental attitude of the spiritual student, aspirant. He experiences a dread for samsara. Some people feel the world is so fearful. Oh Lord, please protect me, protect me, protect me. Some people think that way. So it says, for those people, he experiences a dread for samsara, or the cycle of births and deaths. In his helplessness, he looks to God for help and protection, seeing that he is unborn, that is only being, that is not subject to samsara, and therefore capable of helping individual soul. So it says, this unborn reality, who is to be meditated upon, people cannot do, some people cannot do that. So some people, that's why say, oh Lord, protect me so that I don't get into the cycle of birth and death again. You are unborn, make me that I am not to be born again. So this type of prayer, so it is a prayer, Vedantic prayer. You are unborn, I am born. Therefore, O Lord, protect me to break my cycle of birth and death so that I can stay in your realm of awareness. Rudra, Rudra means contrast between the expression of Rudra and benevolent face is striking. Just now they are saying auspicious, all benevolent, no? And now he's saying, oh Rudra, because I'm frightened in the life's journey. We ordinary people. That's why. So that's why it is the contrast. One side God is benevolent, another side he is a Rudra. Rudra means destructive, or who punishes us, who makes us. Rudra means Rodon. Rodon means cry, who makes us cry. Right? How is auspicious at the same time cry? So this is a expression of this contrast is striking because Rudra is generally conceived to be a terrible aspect of the deity, having no touch of benevolence. That is the concept. The passage implies that the same deity is both the terrible and the benevolent one. And that to the true spiritual aspirant, the very face of terror appears as one of the benevolent. Though he is saying that you are terrible, you are benevolent, meaning that this terrible, there is the same reality appears as benevolent, the same terrible. And terrible is not terrible, also Vedantic perspective. Why? Terrible something, when we become frightened and terrible, then we look towards our inner self. So when some suffering comes, some terrible violent things come, then we become totally withdrawn from the world. We go more closer. That's why he's benevolent. That's why Rabindranath says, Dukkher vese esecho bole tumane nahi dori bole. Oh Lord, I'll not be frightened about you because you have come to me in the shape of dukkha, suffering. We are always happy if we get something which is pleasing me, no? But what I don't like, if it comes, then what happens? We dislike it, we frighten. If it is terrible, a stronger thing, we get frightened and terrible. But that terrible form is grace of God to take me away from worldly, ignorant life, and it gives us blows. Say some friend uh, betrays another friend. Bosom friend, they are betraying each other. What happens? Where do you go then? It is not benevolent form. It is frightening form. But frightening form to a spiritual person, they gives awakening. Hey, whom you loved? You thought he is your friend. God is your friend, no one else. So you get it, the terrible form is appearing to be a benevolent form for a person like that. So it is all, that's both benevolent or terrible, both are the same to a spiritual seeker.
Here's the question.
এটা শেষ করে দিই. Here Swami Lokeswarananda says, Rudra, you are immortal. And this is why people frightened by death seek refuge with you. Please turn your gracious face towards me and protect me always. There are some intelligent, discriminating people who know Brahman to be birthless or jatu. That which is without birth is also without death. In fear, these people take shelter in Brahman. Why are they frightened? Because they know they are going to die. It is a healthy sign when you are aware that this life is only for a while. Most people are not frightened. They are not frightened because they are ignorant. No? All the people in the world singing, dancing, and getting totally overwhelmed because they know that it's okay. But never think that it's going to finish in a second. This moment the life can go. No one thinks like that. No one is serious about that. They say they are happy in the delusion that they will never die. Once the great king Yudhishthira was asked, what is the most wonderful thing in this world? And Yudhishthira answered, the most wonderful thing is that though we see people dying all around us, we think we'll never die. Today we get in news from someone dead. Ah, he has gone. Ah. You do not know tomorrow morning you are here or not. Ah, but no one thinks I will die. Others are dying. So this is the way of worldly thinking. This is called Maya. There are few people, however, who recognize that this world is phenomenal, ephemeral, that everything seems to slip through your fingers. They see that time is passing and death is coming. It may come tomorrow or even today, and they become frightened. They want to know the supreme truth. They want to know how to go beyond death, how to attain that which has neither birth nor death. So they turn to Brahman. Save us, show us the way, how we can get rid of this delusion. Please be kind to us and turn your favorable, joyful face towards us. We are frightened. Please look after us always and protect us. Shankara says that if we meditate on God, His face gives us joy. The more we think of God, the happier we are. So, if we propitiate Him, meditate on Him, and adore Him, then we will be filled with joy. So he says that this mind, if we start meditating and thinking of God, full of benevolent God, then the problem of life's death and suffering will go away. Okay? Is there any question you said? No. Oh. The Master said to love an incarnation of God is enough. how to develop our love on an incarnation of God. Oh, yeah, how to grow love for God means how much we are feeling distaste for the world. Our taste, rasa, we find great joy in anything of the mundane world. We become very serious about that, as Ramakrishna said. But who is becoming serious about God? That because we think, and we read, we don't think that death is knocking at the door. Huh? There is a statement. If you want to make success in life, think that there is no death. No one can touch me. I will establish, I will do everything. But if you want spirituality, then what happens? You think your death is holding you tucked here. And you say, hey, come back here at any moment. If one thinks, we'll do the work boldly, but at the same time, you can think, death is any moment. I'm ready for death. How many people are ready for death? That they are the people, they can enjoy life. That we are the people who are frightened. Oh my God, if it happens, what will happen to me? Of course, you should be not fool. You should write your all this. What is that?
The will.
Yeah, I know.
Doctors,
I know the word.
the doctor's declaration. Don't keep me in what you call life support, and don't do this and do that, and then put me into the cremation ground. Do my ashes, throw it here. Huh? So people get ready for that, and but what is there in it? It will die. So who says I don't care for death? They are the very strong person. That's why these uh, people who are what is called the terrorists, they don't care for death. They know I will die. That's why there one person can take toll of so many people. This is one ordinary person, but his spirit is that I will die. What is there in it? But I will kill 20 before I die. That's so. Similarly, this death is imminent. It is if you can think, you spiritual people, then their activity, their way of thinking, their way of talking, all will change. The way we live in our life, meaning so much of jealousy, so much of hatred, so much of all this going on. If I know I am not tomorrow morning, what will do now? If I think that this is my last day, it is 8:30 and tomorrow 8:30 I will be gone, then what will you do? Then you will arrange for all these things. What seriousness will come for what? Everything will pale into nothingness. I have to go now. I don't care for anyone. No, that's the point. It's only thinking of that life is limited, and anything we have to do duty so long we are here, do that. But internally to know I can die this moment. And if I die, finish. What is the relationship with whom? How much you love, how much you hate. It matters little. At the point of death, everything is cut. I love you, you can hug the body. The body will be dead and the soul will run away. So this is the point. That means how to develop love for God, incarnation. We have to live in the life at the same time, that thing that everything is momentary, everything is changing. So we should pay attention to what? That is more important. Okay. Anything more from the platform? No question for anyone.
But isn't it like that Swamiji said that I saw God first?
I saw
God first before anything else,
Ah.
like that. So we are not loving actually anyone other than God. Anyway, we are loving God only.
It's very good. But that if it is only words, if it is really, if one feels, then problem is solved. So Swamiji's problem is solved. He says, I have seen nothing but God all through my life. You also have not seen anything, nothing but God. That's true. Because all in reality is God. Only reality is Satchidananda Brahman. But do I know that? No. It is I am hearing only. And I know you are different, I am different, he is bad, who is good, he is nice, he is not nice, he is kind, he is unkind, he is jealous, he is vulgar, it is good, it is so holy, it is unholy, all these things. We see the duality. We don't see that. But that is the truth. When one can unknown, even I do not know, true, even I do not know. But there is a vast difference between knowing and not knowing. As I give the example, in the hot summer you are going, two friends are going side by side, and one friend found, it says, "Bah, beautiful lake. Oh, let me go and swim." And he jumps and starts swimming. And when going to swim, he pushes his friend also into the waters. But the friend was not ready to swim. And falling into the water, he became very angry. And the other friend is enjoying the cool of the same body is cool, both of them. But mentally one is angry, one is happy. So knowing and not knowing is so much different. You are taking ice cream, good ice cream. Knowingly, it's enjoyable. Not knowing, you gulp something. Eat something, you do not know what you ate. The consciously doing is more this. And that's why what we learn today, to meditate on that consciousness inside. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Panamastu. Tomorrow we'll have Wednesday
Gospel class in Virginia.
Gospel class at 7:30 tomorrow. Okay? Thank you.